So this is Mr. Spracklin here. I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the Accelerated Reader Home Connect tool, which you should have all had a letter if you've got children in Year 2 to Year 4. A letter should have come home last Wednesday. If you haven't got a letter, please see the school office and we'll make sure that you can log in for that. To access the AR Home Connect, there's quite a long URL which you can type into your address bar. And in future you could save into your favourites. We've also put a quick link on our website. If you go to Parents and Carers, down to online reports, on the left you've got our link out to My Child's Report, which is the half-termly data reporting tool for Year 1 to Year 4, and that will provide information about your child's attendance and their current progress and attainment in reading, writing and maths. But this tool over to the right hand side, this is the one that we're talking about today. This is called the AR portal. So if you click on the image, it will take you to that long web address that I mentioned a second ago. And this is where you'll need to log in with your unique username and password. And I'm going to type one in here now that I'm not going to show because obviously we want to keep that secure. So we'll pick up with me in a second once we've logged in. Okay, so when you first log into the portal, what you'll see is some basic data about your child's overall progress. This initially is looking at the current marking period, and the marking period is split into terms, so this is looking back at the data since January, but you can change it from school year if you want to see the data from September. And with this child here, you can see that so far since September this child's got 95% of their quizzes correct. They've taken 10 quizzes and they've passed 10. Based upon the quizzes that they have taken, they've read 130,000 words. What we're looking for here is a target of 85. Children should be aiming to get 85% and above on a test to pass it, and as we can see here, this child's passed 10 out of 10. Points are basically accrued as children read more books. If a child reads a bigger book, you get more points. Whereas if they're reading smaller text, they may get half a point or 1 point, and that is reflected on their sunflower when they log in to view. On the underneath here, what we can see here is the average level score that the children are taking. And in particular, this figure here is useful because this is the number that you then need to look for in the library. So this child should be reading an average level of 4.7 in our library. So if you look across all our book stock, you'll see now that all the books have been labelled up with those new codes on, and you can go along and you can have a look. The children will also be very familiar about what their current level is. It's because it's something they talk about with their class teacher. Underneath that, you've got the reading certificates. The last achieved certificate for this child was achieved on the 6th of December, and they became an independent reader, which meant that they read 3 books independently at a level of 1.2 or higher, and they earned 10 points. Now, to move on to their next target, they need to read 3 books independently at a 2.0 level or higher. So that's their next point to look at. Moving on the right hand side, you can see the last quiz that was taken. This child's last book that they read was Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. And if you go to the bookshelf, you can see the selection of the books that this child has read. So if we click, these are the books. These are the 10 books that they've tested on so far and they've read. So it gives you a good idea on that as well. The final thing I want to share with you today, as well as being able to find books here, if you've got books at home that you want to know if they're on the Accelerated Reader Scheme, if you click here, you can actually look up to check there's a quiz, or if you're thinking about buying a book for a child and you want to know if it's on the Accelerated Reader, you can do that as well. The final thing I want to show you today is this button here, Email Setup. If you click this button here, you can send an invitation to yourself to get regular updates on results and progress. Once you fill this in, and it may be that you want to fill in mum, dad, granny, granddad, whoever it may be that is involved in your child's development and progress with their reading. If you put their first name in, their email address, and retype their email address, click the add button, you will then get sent an auto-generated email where you then need to validate that that's your email address. So just click the yes, this is me button basically in the email, and then from that day onwards you'll get regular emails updating you on your child's progress when and if they take tests, and further recommendations as well. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. If there's any questions, please let us know.